Okay, this is the main vision PLC control unit. This controls the major functions inside the machine. If I just run you through functions and the screens and show you how it operates. What we've got on the top key here is this one will set up the cut cycle for you. So if I press that, it's green, which will allow you to input a time that you want to actually run your abrasive cut cycle for. If you don't know the time you want to run it for, or if you want to take a stab in the dark, you can basically just tap in, say if I want to run it for 60 seconds, press 60, press the enter key down here, and that will actually program that in for you. Should you find that that's not what you want to put in, if you press the clear time button there, that will zero out the timer for you, and if you want to go back in and re-edit the time, you press F1, that will take you back to the same screen you had a moment ago, and say you want to run it this time for 30 seconds. Again, press the time in using the numeric keypad and press the enter key. I'll save that in there for you and store it. What you've got in this screen is the ability to set the position of the nozzles inside the chamber on the X stage. What you've got is you can use these arrow keys here to move the stage in either 10 micron steps, or there's a fast mode where if you press and hold key 1 and then use the arrow keys, what that actually does is that brings the arms in at a faster speed, and then when you get close to the point on your wafer where you actually want to perform your cut cycle, you can stop it and then just tweak it in manually in 10 micron steps. Now this is actually shown, well, this isn't actually shown on the dial gauge, so I'll shut up about that bit. Once you've got the arms into position inside the cabinet, you've got the option to save those positions there, and if you press F4 here, that will actually save that. It locks you out of the screen whilst it's actually saving the information in there, and then what you find then is your end position here displayed will be exactly the same as your actual position here. And once you've finished it, what we've also got in this as well is if you make any adjustments to the stage, or if you bring it back here, what you can do is you can bring the arms back to the currently programmed position here by pressing F5. What you can also use on the screen to take you into the programmed position here is the cut abrasive button, because once you're in setup mode, cut abrasive will basically mean go to position. For the uppercut position, if you press F3 here, that takes you into a screen so you can adjust how far forwards or backwards the upper arm is in relation to the lower arm. You don't need to save this position inside the system. It automatically is basically, it just keeps it where it was from wherever its last position is. And on this one, again, it's exactly the same procedure. You use the arrow keys to move backwards or forwards in 10 micron steps, and if you want to move it faster than that, press and hold 1 and then press down the arrow key, and that will move it faster for you until you get it close enough into position. To return to the previous screen, you can press the lower cut or unload on any of these stages. Will actually take you out of the screen. There's also an exit to take you back to the main menu on the system by pressing F6. And when you press F6, it also unloads the arms to their default position. Okay, in the setup notch menu, excuse me, what we've got is you can use the F1 key to edit the time that you want to blast on the notch side for. Here it's set for 13 seconds. If you find you don't want that, you can literally just type in the number that you do want to use, press the enter key, and that will store that in there for you. You've got a clear time button should you want to zero the time out on that. The actual notch position, again, you move the actual stage in and out by using the arrow keys. Again, these move in 10 micron steps, or if you press and hold the 1 key, it basically means you can move the whole arm assembly in a lot faster. You've got a save to save the actual position of the got save to save the position of the notch cut. By pressing that, again it locks you out of the system, so you can't do anything whilst it stores that position for you. Go button on F5 will automatically take the arm into the program position, and for the notch side, if you press the notch abrasive whilst you're in notch setup, that will have exactly the same effect as pressing the go button. It will basically bring your arm into position, but it won't actually start blasting. You've got the adjustment for the vertical notch by pressing F3. That takes you to a screen where you can actually adjust the up-down position of the nozzle within the blast cabinet. And if you want to go back to the horizontal notch, press F6. That takes you back out to the X-load stage. And when you're finished on that, you can either press exit or unload. Either one will actually take you out. Okay. Next one we've got is a home menu. By basically entering this screen here, what it allows you to do is home either the cut-off slide, the notch slide, or both slides should they require rehoming for any particular reason. There's an information screen. That's basically just our contact details in the event of a problem or fault, and there's also a config screen. Now this allows you to set some of the other features inside the machine, and I'll show you what those are in a sec. Right. To get into the config screen, if you press F5, you'll be presented with an enter password screen. And what we've got in here, there are two pages of information that are all settable and changeable in the machine. You've got the acceleration speed. This is for the X slide movement when it initially starts moving. Jog speed is how quickly it actually moves in the increments on the actual stage when you press the arrow keys. We've got an unload position. That's how far out the arms actually retract when you want to do an unload. Run speed is the position of how quickly the arms move when you're in automatic mode to actually move the arms either in or out. And then if we press F4, that takes us to the second page of information. We've got a vertical jog speed. That's how quickly the head will actually move up and down. You've got a blast time limit you can set in there if you want to make sure that if there's a fault that for any reason the blasters lock on or the PLC locks up for any reason. What that will do is that will limit the actual maximum amount of blasting you can carry out on the machine. And there's also a load time. This sets how long the track rotates for when you actually want to load a wafer and center it. Right out of the screen, press F6, and that'll bring you back out into the main menu.